you know, tying the FG knot, this is my preferred way to tie it. You know, this is what I'm going to use on all my leader lines, everything that I connect to my braided line. And, you know, I'll go by, you know, step one is I need to always hold the braided line in my mouth and have somewhere where the rod is secure to where I pull on the braided line and that rod is never moving. That's the key that I have found to tying an FG knot for me. Now, this knot has taken me, you know, gosh, I don't even know, 4, 5, maybe 6 years to actually learn and perfect and actually be able to efficiently tie it on the water. So, you know, it's a little bit different for everybody. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, you know, did a lot of different things. But the key for it is, you know, you have to put your time in and do it first. You know, so it's going to look a little bit awkward at first, but I'm generally going to do, you know, somewhere's around 30 plus wraps of FG is what they call it. So it's basically a Chinese finger trap is what it is. You know, it takes a minute. It's not the easiest thing to do. But when you get 30 wraps around that braided line, it really comes together and just cinches and holds perfectly. And then when I get done doing those 30 wraps, there's 2 clinch knots that I'll do to hold down the actual FG itself. All right, so now that I've done my 30 wraps, now I'm gonna cut some of my mainline braid off. So I'm working with a little bit less here. And I'm gonna do my 2 clinch wraps. So first one is basically just an over-under clinch, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna take that same braid, tighten it up, go over the top this time instead of through the bottom, going over the top of my fluorocarbon and the mainline braid. Now I'm gonna cinch those 2 together, go as tight as I can, and then I'm gonna cut that excess fluorocarbon off. Now when I cut this excess fluorocarbon off, I wanna get as close as I can because you don't want any tag and, you know, getting caught in your guides. And now with that extra piece of braid you have hanging on there, I'm gonna do 2 more clinch knots. The same thing we did when we went over the fluorocarbon. Now you're just going over the main line of your braid. And once that's complete, we're gonna take our end of our mainline braid, the excess that's coming off, and we're gonna leave, you know, a good 1/2 inch on there. We're not gonna cut it completely off. And you know, that's a knot that's never gonna break ever. I mean, you could run that knot through just about everything. I mean, I'm pulling on that sucker with some force and it's not breaking. You know, all day, if you tie a long enough leader on, you know, you don't have to mess with this knot. All you have to do is just keep retying your fluorocarbon and you're good to go.